This is Spain, a European country with about 50 million people, making it the fourth largest country in Europe. But almost 70% of its land is empty. Around 90% of Spain's population lives in and around Madrid and the red coastal areas you see on the map, while the yellow middle area is almost completely empty. That means half of Spain's people live on only 30% of the land. Spain has amazing climate and geography, beaches, forests, mountains, and deserts. Yet people live in such an uneven way. Why? It's not like nobody ever lived in that empty yellow area. Years ago, many people did. But now, in Spain's central and northern parts, you can find entire villages full of abandoned houses. So, why did this happen? The reason for Spain's strange population pattern is connected deeply to its history, politics, geography, and society. Thousands of years ago, this whole area was part of the Roman Empire, called Hispania. The empire stretched from North Africa and Europe all the way to the Middle East. But managing such a large empire became difficult and expensive, so Rome was divided into two parts, the Eastern Byzantine Empire and the Western Roman Empire. After that division, the empire started weakening. Germanic tribes attacked, and by the 5th century, the Western Roman Empire collapsed. After the fall, this region was taken over by a Germanic tribe called the Visigoths, who ruled for about 250 years. But their rule didn't last long. Soon, a powerful Muslim empire from Arabia began expanding and conquered this land. In 711 AD, a Muslim army led by Tariq bin Ziyad invaded Spain and took control of the region. The name Hispania was changed to Al-Andalus. Muslims ruled Spain for almost 800 years, during which time science, philosophy, and architecture advanced greatly. But during these centuries, they also faced constant Christian resistance, known as the Reconquista, a long series of wars where Christian kingdoms tried to take Spain back from Muslim rule. In the late 15th century, after the Battle of Granada, Christians finally won, and soon Spain became one of the world's most powerful colonial empires. By the early 1800s, the Spanish Empire ruled huge parts of the Americas, from California to Argentina, and even controlled the Philippines in Asia. But gradually, Spain's empire collapsed, and by the early 1900s, it had lost almost all of its territories. Then, in the 1930s, Spain went through a bloody civil war, which ended in 1939, when General Francisco Franco became Spain's dictator for the next 30 years. This period was one of the darkest in Spain's modern history. Over 500,000 people were killed, and the economy was ruined. Back then, more than half of Spain's people lived in rural areas and worked in farming. Franco tried to protect local industries by closing borders and banning imports, cutting Spain off from international trade. Because of that, farmers couldn't get new machines, pesticides, or technologies, and the government also kept strict price controls. As a result, farming collapsed, and many people left villages for cities or other countries. By the late 1950s, Franco realized his policies were wrong. He slowly opened Spain for international trade, and this started the Spanish economic miracle. Trade with France, Germany, and England grew, creating jobs and business activity, but mostly in urban areas. People began moving from rural or central regions to big cities near the coast, where industries and opportunities were. That's why Spain's population became concentrated in cities while rural areas emptied out. Another reason for this pattern is Spain's geography. Spain is one of the most mountainous countries in Europe, with 6 major mountain ranges. In the north, it's green and lush, but in the south, there are deserts, with some of the highest temperatures in Europe. Recently, climate change has made things worse. According to the UN, about 74% of Spain's land is turning into desert, and 18% might become permanently unlivable. Because of water shortages, more people are leaving rural regions for cities. The emptiest region in Spain is in the north, called the Spanish Lapland, or Serranía Celtibérica, an area bigger than Denmark or Croatia. Because of the difficult mountain terrain, building roads or railways here is very expensive, so infrastructure never developed. That's why this area remains backward and sparsely populated even today. Some towns, like Saitan, only 100 kilometers from Madrid, have become ghost towns. Once full of life, now only 50 people live there. Another major reason for depopulation is low fertility rate. Spain has the lowest fertility rate in Europe, meaning fewer children are being born. In the last 5 years, Spain has had more deaths than births. The main reasons are people choosing to stay single longer and unstable job opportunities. Many focus on financial stability so long that by the time they are ready, it's too late to have children. In Spain, about 10% of women have their first child at 40, and the average birth rate is only 1.19 per woman. To keep a population stable, a country needs at least 2 children per woman. If Spain's rate doesn't rise, by 2040, the country will have negative population growth, and it will need 6 to 7 million immigrants to fill the gap. So, low birth rates are also a big reason for Spain's empty regions. To fix this, the government must support couples with financial benefits and improve rural infrastructure. Otherwise, Spain's population problem will only get worse. Fewer new generations and more people moving abroad for a better life. No one knows what the future holds for this once great empire that ruled half the world. If you liked this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. See you in the next video. Take care and goodbye.